Hey, Anil Gunjal here, the spiritual technologist. And in this video, we are going to cover what the ascension period means and really how to navigate this time in your life. And when I first had my spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension was one of those terms that I came across because I had lost my hearing. And they said, all the signs of spiritual ascension that you're going through this ascension, this awakening, and ringing in the ears and hair loss was one of them, and that really catapulted my journey. So if we start with ascension, right? Ascension, if you just look at the word ascension, just means to ascend, right? To move up. And there's a lot of information out there that uh, so as you know, we're all frequencies, right? We're all in these different vibrations. And if we look at all the frequencies, there's 2D, 3D, what we're in today, 4D, 5D, all the way up. And these are just different levels of consciousness, right? I always thought, hey, when I go from 3D to 5D, somebody's going to come down and pick me up and I'm going to be in this new realm and not look back down. But it's more of a consciousness shift. It's more of a physical frequency shift. And if we look at that word ascension, actually you're just ascending from one dimension to the other dimension to the other dimension, right? And there's different ways of this happening. And really, essentially, what happens is that we have an event or something that triggers our awakening, right? It could be traumatic, it could be, health related, it could just come out of nowhere and you're just like, I feel different now and everything is different. And all of a sudden, you're in this awakening. And ascension is just that journey, that path you're ascending. Um, and really, there's two parts of it, right? So there's our the consciousness that ascends, right? Our mental, spiritual part that ascends, and then the physical body. If we were to completely ascend spiritually in one shot, our bodies would not be able to handle it. That's why a lot of people have these symptoms, right? Not being able to sleep, ringing in the ears, tiredness, no energy, just almost like a depression. And that's because our consciousness is ascending and our body is catching up. If we did it in one shot, it'd be like a big electric shock, and our bodies just would not be able to handle it. And it also is designed in a way that when you're ascending, you have to adjust to different changes that are taking place for you. And if we don't make these adjustments and we have to make them slowly, we're not going to be able to even make it to any other dimension or survive there for any period of time because we're just not ready. We're not prepared to go there yet. For example, if you're not drinking plenty of water and you're not meditating, for example, that's not going to help you when you ascend or as you continue that ascension. And there's multiple phases to it, right? We ascend from one dimension to another. We grow spiritually, we heal different traumas, and it's a continual journey that goes on and on and on. So now that we've talked about this consciousness, really what the ascension period does is it catapults our connection to source, our connection to our higher self, right? It's starting to say, all right, now you got to start making more of these connections. You got to meditate more. And as you're going through these challenges or changes, there's certain things we need to do to take care of ourselves, frankly. And if we don't do these things, not only is it going to make our journey more painful or difficult, it's actually going to slow us down. And one of the biggest things that I realized during this period, or when I first started, was basically just self care, right? Focusing on self love, self care. And what do I mean by that? I mean, taking care of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, making sure you're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're exercising, you're managing stress. There's a lot of energy flowing through our bodies at this time. And energy will get stuck. It will not travel where it's supposed to. And exercise actually moves that, just like sitting in water or taking an Epsom salt bath, right? These are things you do, self care. You're taking care of yourself, you're focusing on yourself, um, and you're really getting away from the, oh, I need to take care of others first before I take care of myself. And if you've ever traveled in a plane, what do they tell you? They tell you put your mask on first. How are you going to help others if you haven't taken care of yourself first, right? And same thing with love, self-love. Love yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Oh, why is this happening again to me? Oh, here we go again. Or, this is just going to be, stop all that bad talk about yourself. Self-love, self-care, physically, mentally, spiritually. Very, very important. The next thing to do is to mindfulness, right? And I touched on that. Stop judging yourself. Don't judge yourself. Stop judging others, especially others. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what they've gone through, what they're going through. And it's not really our right to judge, right? We should not judge. So practice mindfulness. Take things with a grain of salt. Listen to both sides of the story. Don't judge people. You don't know what's going on in their life. There could be something you just don't know. You couldn't even imagine they're going through, and you're like, oh my God, how am I supposed to, um, how am I supposed to judge someone like that? I don't even know what they're going through, right? So, the other thing is you want to connect with nature. This was the one big thing that I stopped doing. Go for a walk, go for hikes, just connect with, leave your phone home when you go for a walk, right? Simple as that. Just leave it home. You don't need it. Doing a lot of grounding. I walked a lot in grass, and then I'm going to start doing it again now that the weather has gotten better. But where you should imagine the body as a battery. All this positive energy is coming in. You need a negative way, like a positive negative. And when you walk barefoot on the grass, you're actually completing that cycle, and that energy is now moving and moving and moving. It's one of the most awesome things you can do. Um, and that goes right into, exploring your spirituality, meditating, praying, journaling, hanging out with like-minded people. You're going to see during your spiritual path that the people that you were close to and you connected with, all of a sudden you're not going to connect with them. And it's part of the journey. It's normal. And that's where the loneliness and the depression comes in, because you're like, man, what happened to this person? Did they just change overnight? Why are they saying those things? And it's just because we've changed, shifted our consciousness, and our awareness has changed. Now we're starting to become aware of the things they always said, but we never thought about it. But now you're like, ooh. And you'll see, you'll start talking less with people. You'll start changing your friends, and start looking for those like-minded individuals. That's going to make a huge difference in what you do, right? The people that can connect with you and they can show you how to meditate, how to pray. Sun gazing is a great one, right? You can go out and just look at the sun for a few seconds. Just research that before you do it. And just remember, this is a really time of growth and transformation. Be open to change. Okay, you're gonna have to really, really change the way you think. Systems that have been in place for years, thousands of years, they will start coming to a light. People that you held in high regard, thinking, wow, this person is doing such great stuff, and things about them are being revealed, right? And we're seeing a lot of that happening right now, as there is a massive consciousness shift. Okay, I'm making this video at the end of April in 2023. I can't imagine the change I've seen in the last year. I can't imagine what it's going to be like if somebody's watching this video 2 or 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years from now. Systems are coming to an end. People are being, like they say, the veil is thin. People are being exposed. People that we thought were like these, high spiritual people, and it's all like coming to an end, because we're at that time of a cycle in Earth where it now has to change again. Everything has to change, right? All this darkness has to leave, and the light has to come in, and we're seeing a lot of that now. And a lot of people are not gonna be mentally prepared, or they're just not gonna embrace that change because it's actually breaking their beliefs that they've been programmed with. And unfortunately, there's gonna be people that will not, they're just gonna be in denial. There's going to be people that'll be angry. There'll be people that will get, violent, maybe. I don't know. But, not violent as in, but they'll, right? Like that. And we're going to see a lot of that happening now, more and more and more. You're going to see a lot of things just coming apart. And if we want this new earth, we want things to change, we're going to have to be open to that. So, that's probably one of the biggest thing you can embrace in your journey is just being open to things that you weren't before, right? I wasn't open to natural healing. I thought tarot cards were, some voodoo stuff, energy healing. What do you mean you're going to connect through me energetically? That doesn't even make sense. Like, don't we have to do a Zoom call? Like, those were some of the things I was saying. And, if you're not in tune and you're not open to these things, now I can feel people's energy when they enter the room, or I can feel people that are not even near me because we're all connected. So, again, just to recap, focus on yourself. That is the biggest thing you can do. The self-love, the self-care, take care of yourself. Your body is going to go through a lot. It's going to go through tons of things. There's going to be times where you feel like, oh my God, I have the flu, I have a cold. And these are just all Ascension symptoms. You're going to be like, I'm getting old, I can't remember anything. And that's because we're shifting from 3D to 5D, and you just don't need to remember those 3D things anymore. You're not going to sleep. You're going to be up, right? You'll get an hour of sleep sometimes, because that's just the way it is, right? And that 3 to 6 a.m. time is like the most, if you look at all religions and if you look at all spiritual stuff, that is like the optimal time to get up and meditate. So if you can't sleep, just meditate. There's a message from your spirit guides that are coming through. So these are just some of the things that we need to navigate when we are becoming spiritually awakened. And if you have any comments or questions, you can comment below this video. You can always go to my website, anilgunjal.com, to get a hold of me. And if there's any other questions, just pop them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be going live soon, and I'll be announcing my podcast here coming up shortly too. And I have some great guests lined up already. So thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.